maybe you're listening via radio. Get on Facebook and share this. Share this information. We had one of our Facebook viewers comment and say this is one of the best shows that he has seen since the beginning. And he's very, very grateful for this information. So we want to thank Rob for that comment. Mark Carr is online. We want to give special shout outs to Amy Summers, who's online. James is online watching via Facebook. So far we've had, I believe, 14 shares. And I'm still looking at 14 shares. So share some more, people. Share if you are on Facebook Live, share this information. We're talking about no credit, good credit, bad credit, rebuild your credit, business credit. We hit on that as well. And we're talking about the things that help your credit. What if you're trying to educate your children, these are the 5 things that you need to know. And we are here with Joe Butler, who's the Credit King. Again, his information on social media is Credit King 911. So far I think we're at 18 shares now. So if you're on Facebook Live, please share this information.
18 shares. We only need 5 more shares before the top of the hour. It's the share drive.
Yeah, it's the share drive. So share this information and tell your friends and your family, if they are interested. We're going to get some information out of the Jay-Z album. We're going to get some information out of listening to the Urban Cafe. People, it's time for us to really get our lives together. Okay, you want to be married, it's time to get your credit up. Don't just get married and try to build a family and everybody's suffering with it.
Hey, that wedding ring, it sounds good to buy it cash, but it must sound much better to put it on credit. I know.
And then in order for you to do that, and especially get the girl that you want, the girl, most of these girls are coming in telling, I want $30,000 wedding ring. A lot of them are not. She wants a more expensive. She putting all your business out there.
She watched too much of that J-Lo.
Listen, if I'm walking around with a $30,000 wedding ring, I need to be living behind some walls and so forth on.
Here's the thing, though. Women, if they don't get married, they got that $30,000 ring. They ain't giving it back either.
No, why would I? That's a gift to me.
Well, that's when they come see me. It's not a gift. Not in Florida.
It's not.
Attorney Jamal Chapman will get that ring back.
I like that. That was the only time I really didn't mind him throwing his lawyer stuff out there. That one was good. That one was really good. I like that. All right, but again, we have Joe Butler who's educating us. Again, we've got less than 20 minutes in our show. This is the perfect time for you to call in and ask that question that you want to ask about rebuilding your credit, building credit. What did I do to get this off, get that off, this and that? And then we talked about trading. I believe you guys threw out the term. What is it?
Trade line.
No,
trade line. Okay, trade line. I'm sorry. But we do have a couple of callers who are already online. All right. We're going to go to them, and then we're going to go back and review the 5 things about your credit that you absolutely need to know. Is that right, Joe?
That's absolutely.
All right. So let's go to Angela out of Tampa. Angela's online. Angela.
Another first-time caller.
First-time caller. They're hitting it. Yeah, we are. Angela, how are you? That's great. What's your question or comment? We're talking about credit today.
Well, it's not the site that you have to worry about.
Right.
Any public connection that you're placing your personal information into, you just kind of have to be wary about. In today's age of cybercrime, you just have to be careful where the site itself is secure. If you look at the top, you see the lock. That means in the address bar, if you see the lock, that means that's an encrypted site. So your information will be encrypted as it's going over the air. But that doesn't mean as you put it in, there isn't a key logger or something at that site, at that computer, where somebody's watching you, hacking you, and recording your information.
And Joe, if I can add to that, Angela, if you have a job like I have to be careful on what personal I check on my job's computer, because there's a whole other department that does nothing but check on what I put in as a character, what I Google, what I message to my group, and so forth on. So be careful of that atmosphere as well, that environment, your workplace. May not be for your comfort the safest place to check.
So maybe if you have a friend or someone you trust and they have Wi-Fi at the house, maybe that'll be a good idea.
Or on your cell phone.
Oh, okay,
you go right from your cell phone.
Yeah, you could go from your cell phone.
I don't know if the bank will check it for you without trying to give you a loan. I mean, now if you try to get a loan or a credit card, they'll definitely run it for you.
They'll run it. Yeah. They'll run
but
it in.
if they run it for you, if your bank runs it for you, either way, that becomes a hard hit, which will decrease your score as well. If you currently have credit cards, a lot of credit card companies, Capital One and others, if you go online and have an account with these people, they will actually offer you a copy of your credit score that you can review whenever you want.
That's good. That's good information. Do you have any more questions, Angela? Thank you so much for that, because there are a lot of people out there like Angela who are wondering the same thing. Maybe they don't have internet at home and they want to know, and that may be a hurdle for them to even know what their credit score is because they maybe don't have internet at home. And she called to say, you know, what if I go to the library or things like that. So thank you so much, Angela. Let's go to another caller. We're going to go to Ernest, the legendary.
Legend.
Out of Temple Terrace.
The goat out of Temple Terrace.
Okay.
Hey, Ernest.
All right, Ernest, what's your quick comment or question? Okay.
So, Ernest, you're saying call your bank every other day and ask them what exactly? Okay.
All right, and what's the other thing that you said?
All right.
Okay. All right.
You know, you're now a soundbite, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
You just made the sound.
You just made a sound bite. So thank you again so much for that. We've got one more caller, and we're gonna go and wrap this segment up. We've got Dan, who is also a first-time caller. Dan out of Brandon. Dan, what is your First of all, thank you so much for calling into the Urban Cafe. What's your quick comment or question? Don't slap him. That's good.
Can I please?
No, we can't slap him. Good one, Dan.
Well, the first step to that is, of course, checking your credit report. Your credit report will divulge all the activities that's been happening on your account since you last closed those cards off. And the second thing is making sure you don't have erroneous information on that credit report. That's the number one killer of people is erroneous information. And I'm going to tell you this is the big thing. This is the gray area that people say, oh, credit, credit repair or credit whatever counseling. What we do is counsel. We teach. We allow people to learn and grow. But a lot of people do not know. These are, like I said before, these are private businesses, and they're for-profit businesses. That's their job. The erroneous things on your report are not necessarily the things that you did not do. Of course, those are erroneous, but sometimes when you have improper paper keeping, improper bookkeeping, okay, there are things on your credit report that shouldn't be on there simply because they didn't follow the rules. Okay, when you don't follow the rules, if you don't get your license renewed, you didn't follow the tag on your car, you didn't renew your registration. What happens? You go to jail. You're punished. So, in retrospect, when creditors have erroneous things on your credit report that they didn't follow the rules, they have to take them off because they didn't follow the rules. And that's what a lot of people don't know. They didn't follow the rules. Those things have to go. And once you go through and see what things you keep and what things should go, I'm not saying not necessarily you should have closed those cards, because when you close those cards, you also closed off a credit history.
Right.
Okay? If you had a card 10 years old and you had a couple bad payments, hey, get over those payments. Keep going. There's ways that you can get those people to actually take those bad payments off, those missed or late payments off. But when you close it, you shut down that complete credit card history, which will affect your score in a negative manner.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dan, for calling. Again, we appreciate you. Next Sunday after church, you better tune in again, okay? And then next time you will be slapped. But thank you, Dan. Tell your friends all about the Urban Cafe every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We appreciate people like Dan calling in, just getting out of church and listening to the show. Back to the 5 things. So let's review. Number one is your payment history. Okay.
On time or late payments, that compromises 35% of your score. That is the biggest part. So by all means, make those payments on time. The second thing is your credit utilization. How much credit that you have versus how much you are using. Keep that number below 30%, and this takes about 30% of your score. The third thing is your length of credit history, just what I was talking to this gentleman about. Sometimes it's good to get some accounts off, sometimes it's not. You want to have that length of history because it shows, hey, this person has been responsible for X amount of years. The third thing is the fourth thing is your inquiries. Never just apply for a bunch of cards, and this is where they get you. Because when you go to Walmart, when you go to Home Depot, when you go to Victoria's Secrets, as soon as you get to the line, they say, hey.
How you know I'm in inventory?
Hey, I thought I saw you there.
Good one. Good comeback. I like it.
We buy the lotions.
Y'all buy them panties too. Don't be like that. Y'all buy them panties too.
Hey. But of course, all these places ask you, hey, we'll give you 15% off, we'll give you 10% off if you apply for this card now. Okay? By doing that, you're putting that inquiry on your credit report by applying for that card.
It is real quick. Is it worth it? Because to get a lot of these small cards, not small, but like a Walmart, Victoria's Secret, or is it better just to have a few credit cards?
Well, that's
a good question.
Well, that comes to the last thing on the list, which is the credit mix. Okay. They also gauge you on the combination of lines of credits you have. Your credit cards, your mortgage, your revolving accounts, your auto loans. And as far as the store cards, they aren't the best things to get on your credit. They are not.
Is there an ideal mix that one should strive for?
Good question.
Well, there's what they call the 850 mix. Okay.
Oh.
To have an 850 mix, they say you should have 2 major credit cards, 1 mortgage, and also 2 lines of credit, such as a car loan or just a personal loan. That's the 850 mix. If you have those things, then you're eligible to get 850. Seeing if your 30-year mortgage or your mortgage is in the last 5 years, that will put you in that 850. But 850 is not, this is only compromises 10% of your score. Okay? So the mix is probably the least thing you have to worry about. But don't go and get a whole bunch of store cards and a whole bunch of stuff because it just looks like you're credit hungry.
Let's talk to a specific genre of people. Let's talk to people who have been married.
Okay.
And these people have been married, and once you get married, everything is kind of joined. A lot of people join everything. They join their credit cards. They join their bank accounts. They join, obviously, if you go and you buy a house, both of you are going to be on the mortgage. And then what happens? Life happens. Somebody do something they weren't supposed to do, and then there's a divorce. And after divorce, sometimes you lose the house. You want the ring back. Then you got to call Jamal. You got so many different things. The car is in both of your names. So instead of, well, you get it and I get it, let it just go back and boom. So after a divorce, I personally have been hugely affected after a divorce because everything was together and I was young and I'm like, okay, you don't know. But I thank God for people like you and Jay-Z and DT, where you're here to educate. So let's talk to that genre of people who maybe you haven't been married, but you decided to join, your accounts and all these different things with people.
Well, I've been through 2 divorces, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right.
One key thing you have to remember, even in a divorce or out of divorce, there's rules to credit. You got the lawman right here. They'll tell you, you're signing binding contracts. Anything you come into that relationship or marriage with, that's yours. That's your signature. Once you start combining stuff, both of you are responsible for this, even if the judge says, hey, you get the house, you're out. Contractually, you're still obligated to pay for that, no matter what.
That is true.
Yeah.
So you have to, in order to make them follow by the rules, you have to follow by the rules as well. So you owe that debt. But certain debts you can start working on if you're giving stuff back. That's a struggle.
It is.
You know, that's always a struggle.
I just want to say this comment because I do some work for you can call me a bad guy, but hey, I gotta do what I gotta do. I'm learning a lot, but every week in Hillsborough County, every day, there's hundreds of people in court, small claims, Capital One, portfolio recovery, Midland credit funding, third-party debt buyers, and they're there, and I can just tell you how it goes. 90% of people get a judgment against them because 50% don't show up. So I don't want to worry about it. This is what happens. That judgment, now in the future, a lot of people are young, 20s and 30s. You want to buy a house? Like I said, I hate to play the bad guy, but we put a judgment in the courthouse. The lien's going to go against any property you buy. If you want to buy a car, anything. So it's very important. And a lot of these credit cards are high interest rate credit cards.
So you're saying that you, being the bad person, you're the one that puts judgments on people's credit.
Well, people put judgments on their own credit
Yeah,
because it's your own action.
I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger.
Okay, since he's messaging that, thank you for that information. How do you get it?
7-year things? That still applies?
Oh,
7 years things
Uh,
fall off?
most
Personal bankruptcy, which we're talking about, right?
No.
Anything
personal bankruptcy normally takes about 10 years to fall off. Most other lines of credit cards generally fall off about 7 years. Inquiries normally fall off about 2.
Is there a caveat to that? Isn't that if another creditor buys your debt or some sort?
No, I'm going to tell you the secret to this. People don't really know this. This is the
Listen
secret.
carefully.
This is the
See,
secret.
I get it out.
Don't pay those bills. It goes by the last date that you paid a bill. Yeah. So you could have opened an account 10 years ago and paid a bill. I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever wonder why you start getting debt collector calls out of the blue, it's like, man, why are they calling me now?
Right.
Okay, this is because your debt has just been sold. Okay,
right.
Your debt's just been sold, and these debt collecting agencies who bought your debt for pennies on a dollar, 50% or 30% of what actually your debt was worth, then they're trying to call you for validation of debt. They want you to say, as soon as you get on the phone, they'll tell you, hey, this call is being monitored and recorded, and we're trying to collect the debt. You know you owe us. They want you to admit that you owe a debt.
Once you admit, then that opens it back up.
But once you admit, it kind of stops.
No.
You guys telling our secret.
It kind of stops what we do. Because, realistically, I never made an agreement with XYZ company. I didn't make no agreement. I don't even know who you are.
Right.
And now you're calling me saying I owe you money?
Right.
This is ridiculous.
Can I curse at him?
Yeah, right.
You can do whatever you want at them because they don't even know it's you. They're asking you, hey, is this?
Right.
And I say, well, you're calling me. You know, you should know who I am.
Right.
Well, don't you owe me? I don't owe you anything.
I don't know who you are.
And here's this is another secret thing. If it's for a medical bill and you ask them, well, hey, what is this for? Well, you had a surgery. Guess what? I don't think in that HIPAA form you filled out that you allowed them people to be divulged of your medical history.
Man, that's good. He's dropping jewels. He's the next Jay-Z.
So
all right, Sam,
discuss this with
quickly.
you.
I literally only have about 2 minutes left in the show, guys.
I'll keep it short, if you can keep it to like 30 seconds. Listen, just a scenario. I'm a paycheck-to-paycheck guy, barely making ends meet. I'm earning under $24,000 a month, a year rather. What are some like simple quick fixes I can do to get my credit up?
Simple quick fixes: pay your bills on time. Like I said, get on a constant payment schedule. Get rid of, like I said, don't save your money. Pay those bills off. Pay those bills off, and guess what? If you need it for an emergency, you have it on your credit card now. Now you can use that for emergency. You're less likely to just keep it in there making 2% while you're paying 15% on this other money. Yeah. You have to leverage your money because it's not about how much you make. It's what you do with the money that you do have.
Thank you.
That's what's important.
Thank you so much. We appreciate Joe. Joe, give us your information again.
All right, you can find me. You can Google me at Credit King 911. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. or you can catch the website, which will launch in about a week, which is creditking911.com.
All right, quick question. Does child support affect people's credit?
Absolutely.
All right, so fellas, ladies, you should know that not paying your child support does affect your credit as well. All right.
One thing. I want to invite you guys to a seminar I'm having next Saturday at 1:00. You can just go on my page or find out information for me. Absolutely free. We're not charging nothing. We're educating the community. You guys can come on in and enjoy that seminar.
All right, next Saturday, Joe's having a seminar. We'll put more information on our Facebook. Guys, it's been real. We talked about a lot of different things today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be back next Sunday at 9 a.m. Next Sunday, 9 a.m. You'll want to tune in. Again, thank you guys. Stay tuned for...
I don't know.
The Sunday Forum is next. NPR News and the Sunday Forum. We'll be back next Sunday, guys. And happy 4th.
DT, we need chairs with them.
No, we gotta take 3 of those hardwood chairs back out in the hallway.
So I'd like to invite you real quick to our
respect.
meeting, just for a couple of seconds, so we can get more information from you. We're gonna move out of here.
DT, where's the live video studio?
What's being